With the 15th pick and with the 26th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dwayne Haskins, Montez Sweat.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sistren. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Rapid React Quickly on the R3. Redskins fall to the Dallas Cowboys at home 31-21. And for the second consecutive week, and I've been beating this drum, I'm going to continue to beat it. I'm going to beat it even louder now. We need a new defensive coordinator, and we need him now. Okay, the defense was just as bad as it was last week. Again, this week, the Cowboys, who started slow in this game, similar to the Eagles, okay, started slow in this game, 5 consecutive possessions in which they scored, including 4 out of the 5 being touchdowns. And if not for a holding penalty on Amari Cooper, it would have been 5 for 5 on touchdowns on consecutive possessions, and they would have scored 35 instead of 31 points in this game. The defense was abysmal. And I don't want to hear about the injuries. I don't want to hear about anybody being tired. I want to hear about Josh Norman getting beat. Get to the quarterback. It's the second week in a row we haven't been able to do that consistently. Early in the game, Daron Payne was unblockable, and that's why the Redskins were able to get stops early in this game. He was a factor. You know what the Cowboys did after that, which is what good teams do, all right? Which is what we failed to do. They adjusted. The rest of the game, I kept watching Daron Payne to see what would happen. They double-teamed his ass. On obvious passing situations, they said 94 will not wreck this game for us, and they doubled him with a guard and the center, all right? Took him completely out of the game. You know we don't get pressure off the edges with just 4. All right, Kerrigan, love Ryan Kerrigan to death. He's a really good Redskin. He's not an elite pass rusher, never has been, never will be. Montez Sweat, again, he's very raw. I said this coming out of Mississippi State. A lot of athleticism. He doesn't know the first thing about rushing the quarterback. He thinks he's going to bull rush or just run by somebody with straight speed. And again, his get off isn't the greatest. So he's not getting to the quarterback, so we're not hitting home. I saw Casanova McKenzie almost hit home, but guess what? Josh Norman got beat on the back end, and yes, safety help could have been there. I'm not blaming the safeties for that. Josh should have been right there on that play, and he just got beat. The guy got beat by Devin Smith. Who knew that Devin Smith, 4 years removed after he was the first-round pick of the Jets, or a second-round pick, either way, hasn't done a damn thing in this league, is going to be the leading receiver for the Cowboys in this game. Who knew? I mean, we're making stars out here, this defense is. So, it wasn't just Amari Cooper or Gallup. Hell, even old man Witten got in on the fun on our ass defensively today. Why is that? Because we continuously sit back with 4-man rushes and think we're going to hit home and drop 7 and still don't defend passes. All right? Again, it'd be one thing if you wanted to, and you're going to hear people bitching, well, what do you want him to do? We got injuries in the secondary. I want you to get to the quarterback. That's what I want you to do. Because guess what? Dropping 4 or dropping 7 and rushing 4, not working. Again, a wise man once told me, if you do the same things expecting the different results, that's insanity. And the Redskins continuously bang their heads up against a brick wall. We're going to rush 4, and we're going to drop 7, and we're going to play coverage. How is that working out for you after 2 weeks of football? Whether it's man, whether it's zone, we can't cover in the back end. So what do you need to do? Apply pressure. If you get beat blitzing, I'd much rather do that than sit on my hands and die a slow death, because that's what's happening to this team. 12 play drives. 15 play. The Cowboys had a 97-yard drive in which they marched it right down the field on our ass and had little resistance on that drive. Okay? This is a defense right now that we thought was going to be the strength of this team. And ultimately, it may be. Okay? Because I still think we have talent on this defense. But as long as Greg Minuski is the one calling the shots, this defense is going to continue to be a weakness, all right, for this football team. Offensively, we did some good things yet again, but after next week, if the Redskins lose, and I anticipate them losing again next week to the Bears at home, despite the Bears possibly coming into this game on Monday night at 0-2, if they don't get it done on the road versus Denver, I don't care. Their defense is legit. They're going to get after Case Keenum. We haven't turned it over. Amazingly enough, Case has tried. We haven't turned it over this season, yet we created a turnover in this game, and we still have nothing to show for it in terms of a victory. At the end of the day, the offense has done some good things. The offensive line wasn't terrible. Morgan Moses got his ass whooped a couple of times over there. But for the most part, the Cowboys, like last week with the Eagles, another aggressive and talented front, we really didn't have bad protection for the most part today. Case had time. Enough time, and there were some times where there was pressure in his face, but that's a good Cowboys front, and that's a good Cowboys team, first and foremost. But that's a good Cowboys front, and I thought the offensive line did a bang-up job of giving Case enough time to deliver the football where he needed to. And on the biggest play of the game, Case saved arguably his worst throw of the game. Chris Thompson was open. If that's an accurate throw, that's a first down on fourth down, and we're still in the ball game. Instead, he airmails it inside when the ball needed to be outside and much, much lower. So, again, at this point, I'm going to say this, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow on the Redskins Nightly News. If Case Keenum continues to play well, but the Redskins continue to lose, and I'm talking about next week, 0-3, because this is my thing. The Redskins need to fire defensive coordinator Greg Minuski now, because you have an extra day to prepare for the Bears because we play on a Monday night. Fire him now. Don't wait. Fire him now and allow the new defensive coordinator to come in and start figuring out how to stop Mitchell Trubisky and that Bears defense. Get it done now. Promote. I would love to see Jim Tomsula get the nod. All right. Promote Tomsula from defensive line coach to defensive coordinator, and let's start getting pressure on the goddamn quarterback. Whether that's blitzing 7, dare I say 8 if necessary, but at least 6 guys coming on the blitz and making it creative. Not just the simple, I'm going to blitz my middle linebacker up the middle and allow the damn running back to step in. That's garbage. That's played, and teams see it coming a mile away. We did it again today. They picked it up, and they ate us up. So, fire them right now. Right now is the time to do it. You got an extra day to prepare for the Bears because we play on a Monday. We don't have an early season bye. We don't have a bye until week 10. Fire his ass now. As far as the offense is concerned, with Case Keenum, he's played well enough for us to be in ball games and have a chance. But here's my thing. If we lose to the Bears next week, what are we waiting on? Dwayne Haskins needs to start now. We're not going anywhere. You drop to 0-3, the season's done. All right, the competitive portion of this season is officially done. And yes, we still have the Patriots, and we go on the road for the Giants. So we could easily come out of this stretch 0-5. And we said this was Murderer's Row, and it has lived up to its billing thus far. The 2 best teams in the division knocked us down in the first 2 weeks and did it with relative ease on the offensive side of the football. So we got exactly what we thought we were getting into with this schedule. All right, we're not good enough to beat the teams that are on the schedule to start this season out, except for the Giants. And that looks like the one game that we may be able to get. And again, it's on the road, and nothing is guaranteed to us. We haven't proven that we can stop anybody on the defensive side of the football. That includes a lousy Giants offense with a star running back. So I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't want to jump too far ahead because we still got the Bears, but changes need to be made. And I think the only change that really needs to be made right now is defensive coordinator. You got to do something, and you got to do it right now because we can't get off the field on third down. We can't get to the quarterback. And hell, the run defense wasn't all that great, even though that's a great offensive line that we were facing. I don't care. We weren't good enough today defensively, and that falls on the shoulders of your defensive coordinator. So we got to see change there, and we'll talk about this again more tomorrow. But if the Redskins aren't able to get it done, despite him not doing anything really wrong, I would rather see Dwayne Haskins get in there the remainder of the season. And because at this point, Jay's probably not going to be around next year. None of his staff, for the most part, except for maybe Kevin O'Connell and whoever he decides to keep, won't be around next year. Let's start building. If Kevin O'Connell is your next head coach, and he's already working closely with Dwayne Haskins, let's just get that ball rolling early. Let's get it started early. Let's get Dwayne out there. Let's get him some reps. Let's see what he got. Because right now, if you go to 0-3, there's not much to be hopeful for moving forward. Because you're going to lose to New England the following week, even if you beat the Giants. And you're going to be 1-4. At what point do you just say, let's just get the youngin out there and see what he has? And I don't know if the right week to do it would be week 4 because it's a short week, short turnaround after a Monday night game. But at some point, you got to say, all right, man, let's go to Dwayne. So I'm not going to have that conversation right now because Case hasn't done anything wrong, and the defense is the problem, not the offense. However, at some point, And for those of you out there that were bitching and complaining about AD not getting active last week and all the run game suffered, look at his numbers and you tell me what's the difference. Again, this is a finesse offensive line, and I'll take it a step further. Jay Gruden's run scheme isn't a good fit for this offensive line. Period. End of discussion. All right? This is a bad run game. It's a bad run offense. Okay? Jay Gruden has never been good at rushing the football. His thing is designing a good pass offense, which he is doing right now with Case Keenum and these collection of receivers. Guys are running free. Guys are open. Okay? Jay's doing his job as a pass coordinator. The problem is the run game is trash, and it's going to continue to be as such because that's the offensive strategy that we have running the football. There were some cute plays early. Nobody does a better job of scripting the first 15 than Jay does. All right? It's after those first 15 run out, that's when you sometimes run into some issues with Jay. But I actually don't have a problem with what he's done play calling wise this year. He just hasn't had enough opportunities because the damn defense can't get off the field. Plain and simple. But in any event, I can't wait to read the comments in the comment section from this game, what you guys have to say. I know you're going to kill Josh Norman. He's not the only guy that struggled. It's more defensive coordinator than it is Josh Norman. Again, the Cowboys had guys running free in the back end of their defense today. All right? And yes, Michael Gallup could have had another big play if Dak would have put it on the money. But again, that's what pressure, he had a little bit of pressure on him on that particular play. That's what pressure can do. It can skew what you have in the back end. All right? We had some guys running open, but guess what? The Cowboys were able to apply enough pressure to Case Keenum to where he couldn't get it to those guys. So, again, pressure can cure all. Just like winning can cure all, pressure can cure a lot of things, but it's not going to happen with this defensive coordinator. It's just not. Got to move on from him sooner rather than later, unless Jay wants this ship to sink, all right, a lot sooner. He better get rid of some dead weight in Greg Minuski or this thing is going to sink, and it's going to sink fast, and he may ultimately go down with it if he's not careful. He's got a chance to give this team a chance this season if he gets rid of Greg Minuski. They tried to do it in the offseason. Here's your opportunity with an extra day of preparation on a Monday night. Do it now. Don't wait. Do it now. I'm telling you, do it now. As a wise man once told me. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. Redskins fall 31-21 to the Dallas Cowboys. And I wasn't at the game, but looking at it on TV, listening to it on TV, sounded like a lot more Cowboys fans. Every shot, there was probably 5-1 Cowboys fans to Redskins fans. Again, I wasn't there. I'll wait for the analysis of people who were there. I'm just telling you what it looked like on television and what it sounded like on television. It sounded like a Cowboys home game, but I will wait for someone who was actually in attendance to tell me otherwise. So in that regard, I'm going to go ahead and glide to the side. More football to be played. We'll talk about this team and where we go from here after starting 0-2 on the season and having the defense, which we thought was going to be the strength of this team, looking like a glaring weakness. We'll talk about where we move on from there on Monday on the Redskins Nightly News. Until then, I'm your man, Louis T. See you tomorrow.
Louis T. Network.